Well, welcome everyone to the 2026 Heatpunk Summit, our second summit. A couple people here were here last year, but we're really excited to have you. We've got 2 full days of talks, workshops, hardware demonstrations, and a lot of fun dedicated to the emergent hash rate heating industry, where we're marrying Bitcoin mining and heating sectors together. Before I get started, I want to give a warm welcome to any new faces, as well as our sponsors, Canaan, Compass, HRF, Ocean, and Tesserae. These companies helped us upgrade the summit this year, so as you've probably seen, it's a much nicer hot tub out back. And I just want to say it's cool too to get support from these companies that are across a wide range of spectrum and focus, like from an architecture firm that loves Bitcoin and wants to integrate it as a heating system into commercial buildings, all the way down to the chip manufacturers with Canaan themselves. So it's really great to have these supporters. I want to make a couple announcements. We do have posters underneath the staircase when you're in the lounge over there. You can see the one from last year on the wall here, under mine, the 2025 Heatpunk Summit with the subtitle that we dropped. Sorry, Cody. But would love to have you guys sign that poster so we can save and memorize this moment for next year, and we'll continue building it out. But if anyone doesn't know me, my name's Tyler. I am kind of the organizer of the Hashrate Heatpunk movement and the community forum that we run here and this event. So we're pleased to have you guys, and I live here in Denver and work out of this venue, so thank you all for coming. Cody and Dylan are going to introduce themselves, and they have some words to say as well, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, I'm Cody Harris. Currently live up in Wyoming, and Tyler and I did this last year for the first time, and then luckily Dylan joined us this year. But I just wanted to talk on kind of what the point and purpose of this event is, and it started kind of as like an outlet to try and contribute to Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin can feel like something that's difficult to approach and hard to think that you can actually contribute. Right? It seems like a lot of code. It seems like complicated devs and like things that just cannot be understood by the normal human mind. But I think mining, and especially home mining and home heating, brings this back into like a more tangible and like visceral way that we can all kind of interact and contribute into this revolution that I think most people here want to see happen. So yeah, I think we had a lot of success last year. I think we're looking to have a lot of success this year. There's been so much development. It's super exciting to see. And yeah, I'm glad that everybody's here. It's cool to be surrounded by like a group of such like-minded and capable people.
Thank you, Cody the Bear.
That's right. I have that. By the way, I do dub myself the Heatpunk Perma Bear. My brother calls me this, so I wore this bear shirt. So if anyone needs to sober up on some stuff, let me know.
Well, again, welcome. My name's Dylan Seib. I work with Tyler here at Exergy, kind of trying to be pioneers in this hash rate heating industry and help move the ball forward and get it out of our hands and into everyone else's hands. Just real quick, want to cover some logistics. Wear your lanyards. We're going to require those on campus all day. They are also required at the after party tonight if you want to get served. Or you can just hang it outside the door. Totally up to you. Another one, pictures. We're all Bitcoiners here, very privacy focused. If you're taking pictures, please ask the folks in your photos if they are okay with you taking that picture. Otherwise, please be respectful of their privacy and don't take the pictures. Generally fine to take pictures of the equipment, the setting, art, have at it, but there's people in it. Back of the heads, I think, are generally fine. Just, be a good neighbor. Most importantly, this should go without saying, we are Bitcoiners. Please leave your shitcoin discussions outside and at the door. This is a Bitcoin mining summit. Bitcoin mining summit. So just want to reiterate, if you're doing other proof of work stuff, talk about it, not here. As Tyler mentioned, we have a full weekend ahead of us. Really elevated the talks this year. We have everything ranging from what products can you make, what installers are seeing. We have a conversation with chip manufacturers. We're talking about control. We're talking about cutting through regulatory BS, because you can't just hack at home and expect to scale. We have everything in between. What I really want to highlight today is we have a workshop, 2 workshops at lunch. One with Tesserae, our sponsor, you can go talk to architects. We really want to have anyone from regulatory side, for the chip manufacturers, go have a conversation. How can we help each other? How can we integrate this and get the ball moving forward and really just get this game going? I will also be hosting a home assistant workshop at lunch to kind of walk through automations and how you can control things. It'll probably work.
Live demos, they're always flawless, right?
But otherwise, feel free to look around. We have systems upstairs. We have systems downstairs. We have drinks galore. You will not go thirsty this weekend. We have food, breakfast, lunch, dinner today and tomorrow. Tonight should be a good time. We're at Rhino Beer Garden. I think that's at 6 o'clock. Food and drink provided. All information can be found at heatpunks.org. Just click the summit tab. The schedule is there. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night. We have a whole roast pig, and they're going to butcher it for us as you walk through. So those of you who are around tomorrow, look forward to that. I think that's all of our logistics.
Feel free to hit that hot tub up at any time.
Oh, absolutely. We have towels. Hopefully you brought your own trunks. We have a bunch of chlorine in there.
Don't need to worry about this. Isn't some kind of, we're not wearing suits and ties here, buddy. Don't worry about the cleaning. Don't worry about the cleaning, all right? This isn't that kind of conference.
The water's 2 days old. We drained it 2 days ago.
There's a shower in the back room.
There is a shower in the back room. There are a handful of beach towels as well.
Yeah.
Oh, also, shout out to sponsor Canaan. They brought beautiful robes that say, I think, bathing in Hashrate. And the sponsor booths, Ocean, Canaan, and Compass are upstairs. Talk to Canaan because I think they're giving them away. They're select rare items. So see what you got to do to win one of those. It has something to do with the hot tub. Definitely find the Canaan team because they're beautiful, beautiful robes. Awesome.
Yeah, leave you to it.
Now I'm going to riff for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And these guys are going to get off stage.
Yeah.
All right, have fun.
Cool. Well, last year we opened this conference with my good friend Rob Warren, who's a wonderful educator in the Bitcoin mining space. He wrote an awesome book called The Bitcoin Miner's Almanac, bringing this up to speed. And it's something I want to do shortly here for this summit as well, because it's a unique conference in the sense that we have the most technical Bitcoin mining builders in the world here, from open source firmware down to the chip manufacturing to the tinkerers and plebs that are hacking and make it working in home applications. But we also have a lot of novices. We have people from the regulatory side of things. We have plumbers, electricians, HVAC engineers, sizers, everything in between. And so just keep that framework in mind as you're chatting with people. Some people might know everything there is to know about Bitcoin, and your mind is just being blown as you're chatting with them. And some people might know absolutely nothing. And so what I want to do now is just kind of marry the two together and set this framework, which is like, what is Hashrate Heating, this emergent industry, and how are we defining it? Really, it boils down to the fact that, maybe you guys have read my book, maybe you haven't, but Bitcoin miners are electric resistive heaters, meaning all the electricity you flow through them is converted into heat, just like a resistive heater. It just happens to be the case that the way we're flowing this current through these heating elements, they go through these transistors, these highly engineered circuit boards that are connected to a network protocol, and when you flow that electricity through this very specific path, a network values that, and you get paid. So it really is this like double spend in Bitcoin. You put one input in, electricity, and you get two outputs. You get electric resistive heat, and you get Bitcoin. You get sats in return. So that's the framework. And what I want to talk about defining the industry is like, you know, a lot of this started, I think, well beyond me. My friend Harrison is here. He was trying to do Bitcoin heating, BitHeat, you know, like 10 years ago with an Avalon 3. So long before most of us were mining Bitcoin. But people have seen this lucrative, you know, use case for Bitcoin mining as resistive heaters for a while now. But I do think we have some momentum now. It's starting to feel like an industry. I mean, the term Heatpunk has kind of caught on, as has Hashrate Heating. And I want to talk about like how we're bringing that into the mainstream. I think we're like about to blow. There's a lot of you know, reasons for that, because Bitcoin keeps going down in price and it becomes harder to mine normally. But all of us heaters love the fact that we're getting that double spend. And so Hashrate Heatpunks, our community movement, this summit, our mission is really to marry the Bitcoin mining and heating sectors as we define this emergent Hashrate heating industry as a means to bring Bitcoin mining back to homes and businesses. I think for a lot of the new folks in the room, you know, Bitcoin mining has felt intangible for a lot of us. That's part of the pleb ethos of trying to hack these industrial machines and get them to run in our house, because it feels out of reach in a sense. It's been taken away from us, Bitcoin mining. It started, you know, on computers, and then it went to more powerful computers, and eventually it started turning into machines that require 220 volt, your dryer outlet, and then you got to hack them to run off an American household outlet. And now we see a lot of machines that are three-phase, 380 to 480 volts. They're highly industrial. There's no way you're running that in your house. Now, it still works in the commercial setting. So all of us that want to bring Bitcoin mining back into these heating applications, and not just heating applications, solar monetization it could be. My point being is that Bitcoin mining is a tool. It's a tool to monetize excess waste. It's also a tool to monetize electric heating. And so we need to push this industry forward if we want to take these data center style machines and actually use them in these use cases. Things that come to mind are like, well, I don't want to heat my house 24/7 or my building, so I need to be able to control it with the thermostat, or I need it to have some level of certification so that my home insurance still counts when I have this black box in my basement. There's a lot of stuff to keep in mind as we're pushing the needle forward. So that's really the framework here. You know, and lastly, I'll say, like, this is the ecosystem that we're building that I'm really excited about. All of you here are heat punks, whether you like it or not, whether you know nothing about Bitcoin and you're just a plumber here today. We appreciate that you're here and you're a heat punk now. You know, we need this ecosystem. I don't know when the last time there was a breakthrough in the heating industry. Maybe it was heat pumps or VRF, variable refrigerant flow. I mean, it takes a lot. You know, these are well-established, 100-year-old industries. They have huge installer networks. They've got trades programs. They've got education. They've got trade schools, everything in between. We are very much on the other side of the aisle with saying, hey, we have these things that make heat, but we don't know how to do any of the other stuff. And so this summit aims to bring everyone together so that we can keep pushing that needle forward in that regard. And as Cody mentioned as he was up here, you know, progress from last year did feel more alpha, right? You know, there were some polished products last year, but there's way more polished products this year. People have made amazing progress on the control front. Shout out to the 256 Foundation guys that have Mujina firmware and open source firmware so you can control them as you wish. And some new product launches, Heatbit as well. Alex here in the front row. There's a brand new Bitcoin miner. How many of these are out in the wild, this Heatbit canvas? They just launched. So this is literally, it looks like a piece of artwork on the wall. It's a radiant heater, meaning it just emits, it feels like you're sitting in the sunshine. It's basically silent, and it's upstairs running right now. So it's going to be hot upstairs. We got like 10 miners on display. So all the windows are open. Maybe we should put some ice in the hot tub, actually, Michael. But beautiful weather here, so I'm excited about that. And then to finish up, I want to say, so the Hashrate Heatpunk, what started really as this community movement where we were gathered here last year together. I really view that last year as a means to bring everyone up to speed and get us on the same page. We are, you know, defining the industry. We're getting more polished over time on the product front, but also as a community network. So the Hashrate Heatpunks is now a official project, a community project under the 256 Foundation, which I've recently joined the board, as has Scott in the back, BitAxe instigator back there. The 256 Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit that aims to dismantle the proprietary mining empire, meaning if you can think of a unique application for Bitcoin mining, you should be able to build it. It doesn't have to be heating. It could be solar. It could be off-grid. There's a bunch of cool stuff in the works, but we need these building blocks. And so just quickly on this, Bitcoin mining is kind of closed sourced and proprietary on the hardware and the software front. You can't inspect the firmware. We'll have a panel on this tomorrow. But for guys like us that are trying to control these things like heaters, like it's very hacky. We're fighting upstream. And so these building blocks of the 256 Foundation, there's an open source firmware, a control board, a hash board reference design, as well as a one-click deployable pool. They exist so that I don't have to go create it myself, right? You know, just as when you want to build some product, you don't have to go invent aluminum. It's already been invented. It's commoditized in that sense. And so these are the core pillars of the 256 Foundation. We have some awesome supporters like Heatbit and others in the room that support the 256 Foundation. The Hashrate Heatpunks, our forum, our Telegram group chat. This conference is now all housed under that. There are grants. We are funded by donations and supporters and sponsors, so we look forward to those conversations if anyone's interested. But I wanted to house this community, this movement underneath the 256 Foundation. It was an idea I pitched to Rod of Bitcoin Park and team, because, you know, now, are we eligible to get grants from the energy industry? Are we eligible to raise money from, you know, the National Renewable Energy Lab that's over in Golden over there? Are we able to fund potentially case studies for you to go and make a white paper from the data you collect, from all the cool systems you're building and hacking together? This is really what I've heard from feedback over the past year of what we need to really advance this as a more mature industry and not just be, you know, it's funny, we call it Heatpunk, but we can't be punk forever if we want to succeed. So we got to keep the punk ethos by keeping Bitcoin decentralized and non-proprietary. But we do want to mature in that sense. So check out the heatpunks.org website. It also links to the 256 Foundation on there. And we do already have a grant application page live. You're going to hear more about support for the Heatpunk movement from my friend Anna in the room here from HRF. And we've got awesome talks lined up here, starting with Cody, I think. So that's my little intro and recap. Let me know if you have any questions. We're going to be running around, but great talks as you can see throughout the rest of the day, and I'm excited to get it started.